Hello and welcome to another episode of When in Spain. It's Paul Burge here. Thank you for watching and listening. Well, in this episode, where am I coming to you from? The Camino or Caminito del Rey, which is down in Andalusia, about 80 kilometers north of Málaga. And as you can see, it's a very, very precarious walkway that takes you for about 7 or 8 kilometers through an incredibly narrow gorge. Takes about 2.5 hours to complete in total, and it's absolutely spectacular. So construction began in 1901 and continued for 4 years up until 1905, when it was finally completed. And it wasn't inaugurated until 1921 by King Alfonso XIII, who was made the inaugural crossing through the Camino, hence the name El Camino del Rey. As you can see, you have a wooden walkway, a little bit of wire fence, and then if I look directly down here, you can see beautiful gorge with waterfalls. You can probably hear the sound of falling water, really narrow cliffs on each side, and then up in the distance in the sky there are, quite difficult to see, but there are dozens and dozens of águilas, eagles, flying overhead. So if you don't have a head for heights or suffer from vertigo, maybe I wouldn't recommend coming to do it. It's very secure, as you can see. As you saw earlier, they give you a hard hat to wear, and everywhere is securely enclosed with fences and guard wires and that kind of thing. But yes, the gorge is called El Chorro, the gorge that we're following. El Chorro. Why was it built? It was actually built to help workers at 2 hydroelectric plants and dams, the dam of Guadalhorce, for them to easily travel and move between the 2 waterfalls, and to be able to carry out maintenance works and to move materials, to carry out inspections, these kinds of things. So the wooden walkway throughout really all of the Camino is only about 1 meter wide, about 3 feet. And so the narrow wooden walkway, individual wooden planks with little wire fences hugging the cliff, about 1 meter wide, 3 feet wide, all the way, and at a height of around 100 meters, so around 300 feet above the river below. El Camino del Rey, or El Camito, as the locals call it, was actually closed for many years. In fact, only recently reopened in March 2015. The reason being, well, the original walkways, which were constructed by driving metal poles into the cliffside and then being laid with concrete slabs, over the years deteriorated to the point where eventually there were huge gaps missing in the walkway, which were kind of patched over with metal girders. So it became more and more unsafe. And what happened, in fact, was there were a couple of there were about three deaths. 3 people died making the route. So eventually the local government in Andalusia and decided to close it to the public. And it just, for many years, just laid unused in disrepair. However, that didn't really stop people coming to try and walk it, and also try to climb the gorge up to the Camino. So it laid in disrepair for a very long time. So in the end, the regional government of Andalusia and the local government of Malaga decided to get together to fund the renovation of El Camino del Rey, and today it's open. You have to book in advance. Definitely would recommend you visit the website, and you can either book tours where you walk on your own, or you can book tours which take you with a guide. It's about €12 if you go on your own, and about €18 if you go guided. It's open, I believe, all year round. The only times when it might be closed is during times of adverse weather conditions, that kind of thing, in which case they will usually inform you in advance, even if you've bought your tickets, and they will allow you to reschedule for another day. But yeah, it's absolutely breathtaking. It's absolutely stunning. Golden, grey and white cliffs on each side of the gorge. There's a lot of vegetation as well, actually. It's quite surprising. And above, well, today, beautiful blue sky. It's early January. We're just coming up to Los Reyes. Eagles circling overhead. It's very warm, actually, today. It's probably about 17 or 18 degrees. So I worked up a little bit of a sweat walking. But if you're down in Andalusia and Málaga, you can hear the sound of the rushing water down below. But yeah, if you are in Málaga anytime, and maybe you get bored with some of the usual kind of attractions, i.e. the beach and the coast, and it's about a 50-minute drive inland, about 80 kilometers inland, north of Malaga, and it's absolutely breathtaking, the scenery. The Camino takes about 2.5 hours, depending on the pace that you want to walk. It takes about 2.5 hours to complete. It's not a circular walk, so you have to, what they do is you normally, I don't know of any bus routes that take you here, but if you drive, you park your car in a car park. You have a couple of kilometers of walking to do to get to the start of El Camino. Fairly gentle walk. It's not particularly steep. There are a fair few steps, I suppose, but it's not exhausting. And you leave your car, you do the Camino, and then they have a bus service which picks you up at the other end of the Camino and drives you back to where you started. So it's not a circular route, it's just a linear walk. So a little bit more information about the fauna of the area. There's a plane that's going overhead. But I mentioned earlier the eagles constantly circling overhead. Well, I've just found a little bit of information on a signpost that says that this area, it's common to see Egyptian vultures, golden eagles, peregrine falcons, and Eurasian eagle owls as well. So I can't tell what, I'm not an expert on on birds, so I couldn't tell you exactly what type they are. So about 3/4 of the way through the Camino del Rey, probably got to the part of the Camino, of the walk, which looks the most precarious. We've got very narrow walkways, very sheer drops, but it's absolutely spectacular. Here you can see in the distance there are some arches. That's a train line which has been cut through the rock, and there goes the train now. That was good timing.